Hi guys, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'm going to share with you how you can easily remedy the number 5 annual calamity star, especially for those who have missed the actual date and time when we remedy it for the entire year. Don't panic. Yeah, maybe you were too busy, you were at work, or you were celebrating Chinese New Year, whatever it is. No need to panic. There are other ways to remedy this star that we're usually not so fond of because it can bring all sorts of obstacles. Now, the first thing that you need to remember is that this year, 2024, it's actually not very strong. So the energies of this number 5 calamity star is not very strong because it is located in the west sector, which is associated with the metal element. And the metal element naturally weakens this number 5 calamity star, or the number 5 yellow. So it's naturally quite weak. So we don't need to worry too much about it. You can sleep there, that's fine. You can even work there, it's fine. You just have to be a little bit more careful, but you should absolutely not renovate. You should not do any hammering or drilling or, putting a nail or a pin into the wall. All of these activities, generally, we want to avoid them. Now, provided you have not already done any sort of renovation there, you've just missed the date where we naturally neutralize the star for the entire year. This is the method how you can neutralize it. It's super simple. We start with your floor plan. So you have to have your floor plan. And for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to demonstrate this on a square regular floor plan, but obviously there are people who have irregular floor plans. Yeah, that happens. In fact, most of us here in Hong Kong, we have irregular floor plans. That's perfectly fine. Yeah, no panic. I will show you what you can do with this. So first things first, you take a picture of your floor plan, and then what you do, you kind of need to divide it into 9 sectors. Yeah, just like this roughly. I know my drawing is terrible. I apologize for that. So just roughly divide it into 9 sectors. That's all. Super simple. You don't have to be exactly precise. That's not so important. Just divide it into 9 squares. We call them palaces. Now, if you happen to have an irregular floor plan, you also need to do this, but the method is slightly different. So let me show you. So if you have an irregular floor plan, this is how you do it. First, you create an imaginary square. Yeah, because here this is sort of like an L-shaped floor plan. And in order to make sure that we can actually draw the squares accurately, we just draw an imaginary square, even though we know it's not a square floor plan. And once we've done that, we draw in the palaces or the boxes. Yeah, roughly again. Yeah. And when we do this, we immediately see, okay, so this sector is definitely missing. This sector is also missing. If you're lucky, it's the one that has the number 5 calamity star. Then you don't have to worry, all right? But if not, then you just follow the guidelines that I'm giving you now. So this is how you actually derive at those boxes or the palaces, even though you have a irregular floor plan. Now, I will just proceed with a square floor plan because that's just simpler to demonstrate. So once you have drawn these boxes, what you then do is that you stand somewhere in the middle of your home. If there's a wall, obviously you stand next to the wall, even if you're not smack bam in the center anymore. Yeah, so don't panic. Stand in the center of your floor plan, and then you take out a compass. You can use the one that you have on your mobile phone. And you just check, where's the south, where's the north, where's the east, where's the west, the southeast, the southwest, the northeast, the northwest. Yeah, you just check where these areas are, and you will end up with something that looks like this. Yeah, so you label each of these sectors with the respective direction. Yeah, so once you have this gives you an indication then where this calamity star is for the year. Now, we then overlap the annual flying stars chart over this chart. Now, we know that for the year 2024, the Calamity Star, the number 5 yellow, however you want to call it, is in the west sector. And the west sector is here, right? So this is where we have the number 5. So this falls across 2 rooms. So it's like 2 bedrooms here. Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's how it often is. It just crosses these sectors cross over maybe 1 or 2 or maybe sometimes even 3 rooms. That's perfectly fine. But you know that this is the area where you have the number 5 yellow for the year 2024. Now, this tells you immediately this area should not be used for any sort of renovation, repair work. Don't do any hammering, no drilling there. Ideally, don't shift around furniture very noisily. Don't put a pin into the wall or a nail into the wall. Yeah, you can sleep there, not a problem. As I mentioned, you can also work there. Just be a little bit more careful, but it's possible to work there. And then we obviously also implement a remedy to make sure that if you have to be there because you maybe your flat is so small that you can't really shift anywhere else, that this number 5 is not going to do much harm. All right, so let me show you how to do this. So next step, you take this west sector and you again draw these grids, but this time only into the west sector. Yeah, so you divide only this area here into the 9 palaces grid. Yeah, as you see here, and you label it again southeast because you know this box is the southeast because it's the upper left, yeah, the southeast here. This one here is the south, the southwest, and so on. So you just label it. You shrink this entire diagram into the west sector. Now, for your particular floor plan, this may look a little bit different. Maybe you have the north on top and the south at the bottom, for example. Yeah, just shrink this entire thing into the west sector. Now, once we've done that, we go to the next step. So as you can see here, this is now our west sector. The west sector has been divided into these 9 boxes. Yeah. And in order to remedy or to nullify the 5 yellow, we try to create a combination of 10, meaning the 5 yellow, obviously, that's the flying star number 5. What number do we need to add up to 10? Another 5, which means we have to concentrate on this, on the west sector again, the west sector within the west sector, because this is the number 5 again. Yeah, this will create a combination of 10. Yeah, so you have the big tight C, the big grid with the number 5, and then we shrink it again, and we identify within that smaller grid, the west sector again, which gives us an additional number 5. So we kind of double up, but 5 plus 5 equals combination of 10, and a combination of 10 is something that is very desirable if in Feng Shui. It usually nullifies negative energies. It also helps us create positive energies. So once you have identified this small west sector within the west sector, you place a metal element into this sector, yeah, into this highlighted area. Usually it's made of brass, bronze, copper, or solid steel. And usually we say at the minimum 30 kilos or more, 30 plus. It can be one single object or several objects. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just as long as you have several, a total of a minimum 30 kg. It doesn't matter what shape it is. It could be just a dumbbell or several dumbbells that you put there. You can also put them in the cabinet if you don't want them to be in the open. That's absolutely fine. Dumbbells work really, really well. Yeah. So put that into the west sector, and that way you have remedied the number 5 Calamity Star for the year. All right. Now, if it so happens that you, for whatever reason, you've already activated this number 5. So maybe there has to have some, you have to have some renovation in the west sector. Then you can't just put a metal element itself is not enough. You need actual metal sounds. And by that, I don't mean a wind chime. This is way too weak and it's too unstable. So you need to have a singing bowl, a metal singing bowl, or maybe a gong that also works. Or in China, we use a dingsha. And then, so let's just assume you have a singing bowl. You stand in this sector, yeah, again, in the small west of your west sector. And for like 10, 15 minutes, you activate the singing bowl. You strike the singing bowl, and it gives a really, really loud vibration, a metal vibration. So this then nullifies again the most severe effects of the number 5. Once you activate the number 5, you can't nullify completely, but you can minimize it. So once again, ideally, you don't perform any renovation in this particular sector, in the west sector overall of your flat. Yeah, so generally no renovation in this entire west sector, nothing like that, no hammering, no drilling. And then in order to make sure that if you if, like, just in case something something surprising happens, something unexpected happens, you make sure that you put a metal element just as a prevention precaution into this west sector here. Now, if then throughout the year you happen to have an accident and maybe you need to repair something in the west sector overall, then in addition to just having that metal element in the west, you stand here and you strike your singing bowl or a gong or whatever, a dingsha. Yeah, that's how you do it. Now, for those who do know date selection, ideally you also pick a metal date, for example, to do this. But if you don't know how date selection works, if you're unfamiliar with this method alone will already get you a long, long way. Yeah, so this will definitely help you. All right. I hope this was helpful, guys. Don't panic too much about the number 5. Yeah, it's really quite weak in 2024, which is not to say that you can just go into the west sector and hammer and drill, but you don't really have to worry too much about it. All right, if you do have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comments below. And of course, I am available for Feng Shui audits, either here in Hong Kong or remotely. That's also possible. Just get in touch with me. My email address is in the description to the video. And yes, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel, if you gave me a thumbs up, and if you shared it with anybody who may be interested in this. All right, see you guys soon. Thank you.